Hey, so today I want to talk a little bit about the differences between having a goal and target to having a dream. Now, a lot of us will think that we know the difference, but we don't actually know the difference between them in real life. So, the way I'm going to describe this, I'm not going to try and belittle you. I'm just going to try and get you to understand if you've been dreaming or if you've been setting goals and achieving them. So the difference between a dream and a goal is very, 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 very simple. A dream is something that you think about once every now and then wish that you were there. Whereas a goal is something where you actively put steps in to make that happen. So, for example, let's say I'm an archery shooter. My wish is to shoot in the middle of the target. That's my wish, but I can't do that without first putting the bow together, getting some arrows, putting the arrows in the string, pulling it back, aiming, shooting, and hitting it. There's no way I could have done that without having the first part of that done while I was doing that. So if you look at it as in like a sport, anytime there's a goal, a target, anything like that, you've got to put the process in doing it first. Football, you've got to get the football from the middle to the goal the other side, but you've got to get around everyone. The concept of a goal is very simple. It's just about putting step-by-step processes in the place so you reach your goal. What a lot of people do is they dream. They say, yeah, I would really like this. Oh, but I didn't manage to hit my goal. Well, no, because your goal was so far ahead. Oh, no, your dream was so far ahead that there's very little chance that if you do reach that dream, that you're going to keep that. If you do reach that dream quickly, you're going to keep that because your mindset and your perception of food and what you should and shouldn't eat and should and shouldn't do won't have changed that quickly, and you're likely to yo-yo back to where you were before. The whole reason I'm making this video is so that you understand that, or not just that you understand, but a lot of people understand that the difference between a goal and a dream. You could hit a dream, but what will happen normally is you haven't put the groundwork in to hitting that dream, and then you'll yo-yo back to where you were before. Like if there's no pillars to a building, it won't hold the building up. It will just rock and fall over. You can't have a building lent on one pillar. You need all of the pillars in. That's exactly what I want to give you to lose weight, but keep it off, because there's nothing worse than reaching your goal and then 5-6 weeks later you realise that you've started putting on weight again. Oh, and now it's really hard to lose weight again. Now you've got to go through the same grueling process as you did before. Whereas if we can change small things on a regular basis to make sure that we can reach your goals quicker but more sustainable, I would rather do that. And that's the reason I'm talking a bit about goals today. So when setting a goal, not a dream, when setting a goal, what you need to be doing is, I would break it into 3-month pieces or 12 weeks. 8 weeks is good, 12 weeks is good. It just depends on how far ahead you can think. So, for example, a 12-week goal would be terrible for me. An 8-week goal would still be quite bad for me. A 4-week goal is much better. Even a 5-week goal for me is much better, because I'm much more likely to stick to it, because I'm not one of these, oh, it's in the future. I'm one of these people that, you know, when you got homework and you'd leave it right until the last minute, that was me. So that's how I work. I do it in weekly basis targets, and my targets are so small. I just make targets, things like, I want to be able to train 4 times a week, and I want to stick to a diet, or not a diet, but a calorie restrictive, yeah, well, I suppose it is a diet, a calorie restrictive diet of 2,200 calories because I'm allowed 2,400 calories and I want to be in a 200 calorie deficit. I will talk more about calories later. This is not a video about calories. So, to set a goal, you want your end goal. So, let's say at this point, the 12-week goal. But then you want to set weekly goals, not just, I want to lose this much weight. I'm sorry, but that won't cut it. You need to be doing, I want to lose this much weight and I am doing this to actively get towards my goal. Not, I'm going to lose this much weight. And then you get to the end of the week and you haven't even thought about it because you haven't set yourself small goals to get to during that week. So it needs to be, let's say on a Monday or on a Sunday. Let's say on a Sunday you weigh yourself, you go, oh, okay, I don't like weighing myself, but I've weighed myself and I've measured myself, but by the end of this 12 weeks, I want to lose this much. Great, perfect. But this week, what I'm going to do to reach my goal and try and lose this much weight, because that's how much weight I need to lose weekly to reach my goal, I need to be doing this, 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 and this. And this is what I'm going to actively do this week to change my habits and my eating regime. And then as soon as you've got that in, come to next Sunday, weigh yourself again. Oh, look, I've lost £2. The week after, do exactly the same. Oh, look, I lost £3. The week after, do exactly the same. Oh, look, I lost half a pound. Okay, I'm not happy with that. I know what, I will message Tim. Tim, I don't understand why the last 2 weeks I've had really good weight loss, but this week I've only lost this much. Can you explain this? And the perks with doing it this way is you should have been tracking what you've already been doing, because there's nothing worse than getting to there and then being like, well, I don't understand why this doesn't work. So you need to track where you are. It's not hard. All you need to do is take photos of every meal or write down every meal. It's not a biggie. Photos are good because they give you a rough estimate on how much you've put. I mean, you can do weighing and stuff, but weighing to me is very, 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 very boring. Whereas if I've just got photos of every meal, it just means I pull out my phone, take a photo. Done. And if I write down at the same time what it was, it means that it's on the phone. I've got everything to fall back on. This day and age, you can send it on your phone and send it online straight away. It doesn't even need to be on your phone. You can have an online storage. Dropbox is fantastic for it. There's probably others. Google Drive, you can load it straight to that and have it as a food tracking for 12 weeks. And then you've got that there for you to look back on, or for me to look back on later if you hit a plateau. And that's what a lot of people do, is they hit a plateau, like they don't lose any weight or they put on weight, and then they go to themselves, oh, well, I've failed. No, you haven't, because you've come from there to there. Normally after about 5-6 weeks, people start to slow down. And this is where having a cheat meal comes really handy, is you have a cheat meal, which is you spike your daily calories by about 400 or 500 calories for that day. And then you go back onto a calorie deficit, which means that your body's leptin levels spike up. Go on the science of this later, but then you lose weight on a more regular basis, rather than being, oh, I just failed. You need to know what you've been doing to know that you've failed. There's nothing worse than having a goal and then not understanding why it didn't happen. This is what diets don't do. They don't go over everything. They just go, oh, well, you've just not done good enough. Well, that doesn't really cut it for me. I want to make sure that you reach goals, and we can go over why you didn't reach that weekly goal. And then you've still got the 12-week goal in ahead. And then when you reach the 12 goal, nothing is stopping you going further. It's just we need those small breakdowns, rather than doing this whole, in the end, I'd like to lose 18 stone. Well, yeah, great, but you only weigh 17 stone. Well, so that you've got to have realistic goals, but at the same time, I hate that word. Realistic. But you've got to have goals that are going to be for you realistic, because you're not going to reach a goal that's not achievable in your head. If you don't think it's achievable, you're not going to do it. Setting a 12-week goal and then not thinking about it until the 11th week, of course you failed, because you haven't done anything to get there. So the reason I'm making this video is to make it more simpler for you to understand that setting a goal isn't just the be-all and end-all, or setting a dream isn't the be-all and end-all. You've got to set a goal and then work actively to get there. Like a footballer, they have to get from one side of the court to the other side of the court and score the goal. You can't just magically appear over the other side of the court and think that you're going to score a goal from that. It doesn't work like that. And there are the odd occasions where someone would kick the ball from one side of the court, one side of the pitch to the other side of the pitch, and it'll go in the goal. Yes, absolutely, there are going to be some people out there that will reach that, but it is very, 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 very small chances that that's going to be you. And if that is you, great, but that's not what I'm trying to get at. What I'm trying to get at is we need that system in place that you are going to understand where you are, going to understand about changing life habits, and then as soon as we've reached that goal, life habits, we can then adapt more, or we can see where you are and how you want to go from there. I hope this video helps. I'm not trying to rant, but at the same time, I want you to understand the differences between goals and dreams. And I want you understanding that a lot of fitness and health and wellness people work on dreams, not goals. I'm working on both. I want you to dream of something, but I then want you to set goals to reach that dream. Like, it's nice to have a dream, but I don't want you to just have a dream and forget about it. I want you to have a dream and work towards goals to reach that dream. Not just, oh man, it's the 11th week and I didn't reach my 12-week goal. Whatever shall I do? It sucks when you get there, because I know I've done it. I know plenty of my friends, plenty of my family that have set dreams, but they're not set active goals to reach that. That's why I'm doing this. Hope this helps. I'm going to get off. I'm going to upload this to YouTube. And if you've got any questions, please send me a question. I'd be happy to answer any questions. I'm quite happy to help you out any way, which way possible. Right, see you later.